Now, of course, I do not condone being a side dude. I do not condone dealing with a woman who's involved with another man. Let's say that right off the bat. So what's good, homies? It's your man, Dr. BOA. You know, a lot of times we as men tend to allow women to dictate to us what position they're going to play in our lives. So you have men who have married women that they didn't think were worthy wives. You have men who have had wives, then have had side chicks and then married the side chick. You have men who have married women simply because they impregnated them, whether the child was desired or not. They have decided that they need to make this woman a wife simply because they impregnated her. Sometimes you just made a mistake and got the wrong woman pregnant. That doesn't mean you should compound the mistake by marrying the wrong woman. But you as a man have to determine what position a woman is going to play in your life. Sometimes you meet a woman and she's in one position and then you believe she needs to be in another position, but that's because you believe she needs to be in a position. You never let a woman dictate to you what position she plays in your life. No matter what she does, no matter what she says, no matter what she quote unquote brings to the proverbial table, you determine what her value is and therefore what her position is in your life. Now, somebody sent me a video on IG, man, and this is one of the greatest pieces of content, man, that you're ever going to see me discuss. It's just phenomenal. This guy handles this like a G. The woman has a man, and she says to him, I've been thinking about me leaving him. And he said, why would you do that? She said, to be with you, of course, because we already act like a couple. His response is one of the flyest things I've ever heard, because of his willingness to stand pat on what he believed was the perfect scenario for them. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, when you are in a situation with a woman can be good to you, man. A woman can be extremely good to you. But you also have to understand that whatever a woman's situation is when you meet her, her mindset and outlook on relationships is based on that situation. So if a woman has a man and you end up being with her anyway, you are, in essence, her side dude. And any man who's ever been a side dude and ends up with the woman as the main dude is a fool. Because the same way you were a side dude, I can guarantee you at some point, somebody else is going to be a side dude as well, while you're the main dude. Let's take a look at this video, man, and we'll come back and chop it up on a real tip.
What would you think if I left Emmett?
Why would you do that?
To be with your ass. We act like a couple anyway.
No, we don't. We act like buddies who don't hate each other. I like what we got.
And what's that?
I'm your nigga.
What?
Yeah, I'm the nigga you call when your ass tripping. I'm the nigga you call when your girl get locked up over some bullshit and you need money in a pinch. I'm the nigga who you call when your son barber canceled on him and he need a haircut real quick. I'm your nigga, Tim. Not your husband.
Oh.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Now, what you saw was flawless. This was a flawless exchange. He told the woman what he was in her life. He explained to her why that's what he is in her life. And then asked her to make sure that she understood what he was saying. He didn't say, are you okay with that? Or do you give that your stamp of approval? He said, this is how it is. Does that make sense to you? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because if not, I'll break it down even further. And you know what she said? The thing that you men don't believe a woman will say when you put your foot down, when you direct her in every way in a relationship. You know what she said? The only thing she could say, okay, yeah, I get it. Is she a little bit hurt? Yes. But nothing but her pride, nothing but her feminine ego. Her heart ain't hurt. She got a whole man at home to go to. You better remember your position, because a woman will figure out a way to pull you into the main position if she wants you there. So you got to guard yourself and make sure that you're not accessible to her like that, that you're not being led by her, that you don't feel like you've got a blessing. Because I'm going to tell you like this, homies, and you better take this to heart. There ain't no woman on the planet that's got a man who's a blessing to you if you her side dude. There's no such thing as a woman who's cheating on her man with you being a blessing to you. She's a curse to you, homie. And so you better not let her get it in closer. You need to drop her. But since you didn't drop her, and you ain't going to drop her, because if you in this situation right here, you didn't drop her. But let's reverse this. Even if you're the main dude, you have to make sure your woman understands your position and her position. See, when I say keep your gaiters on her neck, I'm not talking about being brutal to the woman. I'm talking about making sure that that woman understands the expectations you have for her in the parameters of a relationship. And make sure she sticks to the code. Make sure she does these things. Make sure she follows your lead. Make sure she measures up to par. Make sure she gives you her very best effort and energy. Because if not, why you got in the main position? You got to be ready to cut a woman loose if she ain't ready to play that main position. It's my way or no way, and no way is okay. You ain't got nothing to lose by losing a woman. You got everything to lose by keeping a woman that you don't want. And even more, fighting to keep a woman who don't want you. So I want you men to understand this. Every time we talk, we always want to make sure that people know we are in control of our lives. And if a woman comes into our life, guess what? She is under our control as well. A woman will work on your emotions. She will convince you you're so great that she just got to have you every day. She'll convince you that you're so wonderful that she will replace the man she has with you. Never stopping to think that she's not the type of woman that you will put in that position. Any woman who will cheat on her man with you is not worthy of having a man. She needs to be a side chick or jump off to every man she interacts with. Because the problem is, if you have a woman and you want a side chick because your woman isn't satisfying you, you know the first thing she'll say? Well, why didn't you just tell me? We could have worked it out. We could have done whatever. We could have done these things. But then when it's her turn, she ain't telling you nothing. She tipping around, creeping around, sleeping around, freaking around, and might even come home with a baby and tell you it's yours. So you got to make sure you keep your woman working. She got to grind. From the time she opened her eyes to the sunshine to the time she laid down, it's time for her to be on the grind. She has to earn your approval. She has to earn this position in your life. Now, if you're in a position where you're living off a woman, then this don't apply to you. None of this applies to a man who's not in a position of power with a woman. But when you're in that position of power, you got to make sure that you remind yourself you're in that position of power. The woman knows. But if you don't play the position of power, she ain't going to remind you. You know you're in a position of power. You don't have to do this. She's going to take whatever you do. So if you let her dictate to you what the relationship is going to be, what the barometers that gauge the relationship, what the parameters that that define the relationship are going to be, then man, you're going to be in a weak position, because a woman's never going to willingly put you in a position of power if you're willing to take the position of weakness. And letting a woman define her role in your life is a position of weakness. Either woman going to give me what I tell her she going to give me, or she ain't going to give me nothing. Either woman going to do what I tell her she going to do, or she ain't got to do nothing. Either woman going to follow me to the ends of the earth, or I'm going to lead her into a dead end and leave her there and drop her off somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? We got to keep in mind, brothers, that as a man, you have to take control of your relationship with women, because you're the only one that's going to lead the relationship from a logical perspective. in wisdom, understanding, knowledge, and righteousness. She's going to lead the relationship with emotion. Just like this chick in this video, got a man at home. She hasn't discussed with the man at home that she think about leaving him for somebody else. He don't even know she got somebody else. But here she is discussing with another dude that she think about leaving that man. That's like the video I put up earlier this week where the woman came home and everything was gone. Now, women complain about that. He shouldn't have did that. He blah, blah. Some woman even came in the comments and said, well, she got a lawsuit because you can't turn off the utilities. That's some type of crime that you can't do. But here's the thing. He only turned off the internet. The internet is not a required utility. It's not a necessary utility. But a woman will always find a reason to hold a man accountable. But in this scenario right here, how many women are going to hold her accountable for having a man that she been with so long and she into so much that she think about leaving the man she got at home, and the man at home don't even know she got a man, another man. Y'all keep one thing in mind, brothers. Control the dynamic that you're in with a woman. That way, no matter what she does, no matter how she behaves, you have the power to stay with her or get the hell away from her. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Sims claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto.